We are recording our recommendations for small forwards that you should focus on and target in your NBA fantasy draft this year. And you just said a couple minutes ago that small forward seems like a hard one for you, maybe to find some quality picks there. Also, we're not talking about Jason Tatum. We're not talking about KD. We know they're good, all NBA quality players. But I said this was an easy one for me, man, because the two players that I'm going to start with, one and two, I'm going to go Amen and Osar Thompson. I am so high on these kids. I would have picked up both for my team because I really love them, and they obviously qualify for SF, I think, and PF. I think spots on the format. Um, Look, like I said to you earlier, man, these guys in year two, they already had a solid rookie year, man. Okay, and they had their ups and downs as rookies, and I think they're only going to build on that. Obviously, a men with the Rockets, and they're up and coming, probably hoping maybe to compete for the play-in or even say playoff spot in the West in that sort of sense. And obviously, Detroit are trying to rebuild here and give their young players minutes and see what talent they have on their roster. I think I think these two kids, the sky's the limit for them. And you talk about stocks and stuff like that, and these guys do stuff across the board. I love that. I love players that do stuff across the board. That's why I'm so high on, some of the players that I've talked about in the past. Even so like Ben Simmons, I think he does stuff across the board to a limited volume, obviously. Yeah, we're not saying he does 20, 10, and 10, but obviously I think these two guys do a lot of good stuff across the board in that sort of perspective. My third player here is a young player here out of Charlotte who is a SFSG, and I'm going with Brandon Miller.
I like
Again,
it.
a year two player. Um, Look, LaMelo is. Look, I'm going to say LaMelo is the key to the Hornets. Yeah. Okay. The Hornets are never going to be competitive unless they trade LaMelo or he just stays healthy. Right? Yeah.
Mm.
He is the key to them winning 45 games, and then now they're making some noise in the East. But a player like Brandon Miller, okay, is the players that he needs around him. Okay, already last season he showed he had a solid sort of rookie campaign. Every rookie has its up and downs. I think. I sometimes I like to grab rookies off the free agency pile, but then you sort of ride them for a few weeks, and then you sort of realize how up and down they are, and then you sort of probably drop them, and maybe you can grab something better at that point. That's what happens all the time with rookies. But now he's in year two, already puts up reasonable stats. He's always going to be a bit of scorer. I think he's projected for about 4.5 rebounds, couple of assists. Doesn't turn the ball over too much, and his percentages are reasonable. So I think he's worth again, maybe say eighth, ninth round sort of value for Brandon Miller to definitely put on your radar here. I think he's going to have an up season.
I like it. Really committing to that hipster role that
Yeah,
you're
man,
playing
of
in the
course,
other
man.
things.
You
It's
who
it's
are you going to
great.
say? You going to say Jason Tatum?
I am. I'm going to say Jason Tatum at number one. Rationale for Jason Tatum, obviously huge monkey off his back of winning the championship, but last season averaged 27, 8, 5, 1 steal, and zero point 0.6 blocks. So again, those blocks coming into play. But obviously Tatum as well has a bit of a chip on his shoulder, right? I think people, sometimes when we
Does
have
he?
great teams win a
He's got
championship,
a
we just
tattoo
discredit them.
of his
Yeah,
championship on his shoulder. In
he
fact, yeah, it's a
does. He
fact. I
does.
saw that.
He's got, but the thing is, he didn't play the Olympics and he didn't get the Finals MVP. And there's still questions about Tatum. He's worked on the hitch. I just like it. I like it. And I had him in fantasy last season, and excluding 3 point percentage, he is steady. Another steady player. SGA and him would be a really steady duo for you. Then we move on to our second position. This is where I would actually have Brandon Miller. I'm probably a little bit higher on him than you. The reason why I'm high on Brandon Miller is he started to figure it out at the end of the season. So you talked about those up and down rookie things.
Mm.
He was a post All Star rookie where he started to score 20 regularly, but also give you 5 in the other categories. If LaMelo's back, that's going to help him. If LaMelo's not back, though, he already proved that he can figure it out. And he, again, can be a good stats bad team guy. The percentages and turnovers could fluctuate, but there's high upside for him. And then for my last one, for my last small forward, I'm actually going to go with Bradley Beal. I think Bradley Beal's stock plummeted at the end of last season, rightfully so. And he's technically listed as a small forward in SG.
Mm, mm.
I'm assuming he's going to be there based off the percentage rostered is only 77%. The reason why I've picked him, Phoenix has to have a bounce back year. The pressure's on them. They can't make a lot of moves, and there's a new coach involved. And supposedly there were coaching issues last season. But I want to read out his box scores, points wise, for the last games that he played with the Phoenix Suns: 33, 19, 26, 20, and 36. He started to figure it out. Here are the rebound stats that surprised me too: 6, 9, 5, 7, 3. Here are the assists: 5, 4, 4, 3, 5. Steals: 2, 2, 0, 1, 0. Here are the blocks: 1, 1, 0, 5, 2. If you loved me reading out some stats, the thing that I need to really emphasize, because you can't see what I'm looking at, he gave you really good stats in every category for that stretch. He's healthier. He's going to be playing straight away. He's going to have a full season under his belt. And the role dichotomy should be figured out. I really like him. And I think a lot of people are going to sleep on him for a lot of justified reasons. But if he's still available later in the draft, I think he's a bit of a steal. He went for $1 an hour draft.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I can
absolutely.
see the merit for it.
Hey, look, man, I 100% agree. Bradley Beal plays slid down a lot of draft boards this year after last year. He started off really slow, if I recall correctly. I think he was injured for the first half of the season. And then obviously then he came on sort of strong, yeah. So look, yeah, man, if he's there for $1, go grab Bradley Beal. I'm definitely gonna jump on your ship there, man. I guess real quickly there on that note though, you're talking about the Tatum tattoo on his shoulder, right? Or the chip on his shoulder. And I understand, I read the article that he got a championship, him holding the
Yeah.
championship trophy on his shoulder. And I'm not a tats guy. You can't see no tats on me. I know you got your hoodie on, but you're a tats man, yeah. And you know, again, it will be my opinion here that surely if you had a chip on his shoulder, then he would get tattooed, in fact, the Olympic box score and a DNP on his shoulder to remind him that there was no love coming his way that game in Paris, and maybe that would be more of a impressive tattoo than a picture of yourself holding hardware. Isn't that what photos are for, man? Please explain tattoos to me. Maybe this is a side topic.
So I believe Tatum's philosophy with his tattoos, so he's using his back as a canvas of his life, the important moments of his life. And so clearly that was recognized as him finally winning an NBA championship. I saw a really funny joke. I can't give credit to the Reddit user, but there's someone on Reddit who made a really spot on comment. It just made me chuckle. And they said that he's going to get a tattoo of himself on his deathbed. Like he's going to get a tattoo of him on his deathbed himself, just really capturing the full story in life. I just really think he is very similar to how we probably treated Nikola Jokic with his NBA championship, where we started to look at it and say, well, you didn't really beat any competitive teams because you played the 8th seed in the final. And we always find a way to discredit champions, but when it looks at Jason Tatum, how good was his summer actually? He wins an NBA championship, but doesn't get the Finals MVP, doesn't play really for Team USA, and it's not that people are counting the Celtics out. It's just more like people aren't viewing them as a dominant. Like no one's saying that they're straight back to the NBA Finals, are they? Like everyone's excited about Philly and New York because they made the sexy moves in the
Well,
offseason, which always happens.
they need to do it soon before they get expensive too, correct?
And that's the thing. So, and also, if Jason Tatum doesn't play well, that team still succeeds, and that's probably where people hold it against him. So, if he fixes that 3-point shot, he goes to a 30-point scorer easily.
Hey, look, but lucky this is a fantasy recommendation. So Nick says grab Tatum. He's your
Oh,
man to grab round one.